Hello! Welcome to book club. I like books, if you couldn't tell. And today I'm talking to you about my book club of the month of right now it's July, but you're going to be seeing this in August. My choice for book club is Nightwing. All right, now listen, just hear me out. Listen. Okay, I know. Okay, they're comics. Okay, but please, this is the love of my life. Okay, like I love him so much. I love him so much. I have one love. I have one. And it's this man. Okay, and I am so disappointed every single day that I wake up and he's not real. But this is my man. This is my true man. Tell everybody in my life, tell my husband, that this is actually my husband. He is my husband. This is my husband. How was I supposed to say no to this? Hmm? Do you see this? How was I supposed to say no? How are you supposed to say no to a man in a billowy white shirt? How do you say no to a Romani man in a billowy white shirt who represents all of hope in a desolate land? Okay, maybe it's not desolate, but it is corrupt. We could use a little bit of hope sometimes, it's nice. Um, Let me tell you why I chose graphic novels this month instead of a full novel. You'll see I have a lot of novels. This gap in my bookshelf right now is a novel I'm currently reading called A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Um, and I'm not finished with that yet. I probably will be by later today. But this is what I wanted to show you guys. And I wanted to show you for a couple of reasons. One being that I am someone who I like knowing the whole story. That's sometimes not possible in comics. There's so many comics, and I only have so much money. So I can't get all of it. And like continuity changes based on what storylines you're reading. Like this covers what I dub, but I don't know if it actually is the name. The Heartless Saga of Nightwing, where there's this villain who is going around and cutting out people's hearts because he needs people's hearts to survive, really, and he's like a psychopath because of course he is, and like great. Heartless is Nightwing's antithesis, right? Dick Grayson's antithesis. He uses his billionaire status, his background of like suffering, which he enjoyed because he's a psychopath, because of course he is, and he uses all the power that he has accrued in his life to perpetuate more and more suffering, whereas Dick Grayson uses all of the tragedy in his life and all of the power that he has found in his life to propagate more hope. I keep saying propagate. That's not the word I'm looking for. It's perpetuate. But anyway, he perpetuates more hope. And that's why he's my favorite superhero. He wants Dick Grayson's heart because Dick Grayson inherited money from Alfred. Yes, Alfred is dead in this, and it's very sad, and we try not to think about it because we love Alfred so much. My vacuum cleaner is actually named Alfred, but that's beside the point. The main point is he inherits his money, and instead of like doing bad billionaire things with it, he uses it to build Haven in Bloodhaven, which is a safe space for people who are less fortunate, for children especially, in a city that is very corrupt and gives Gotham a run for its money, And Heartless, wants Dick Grayson to succeed only so that his downfall is that much more painful around Bloodhaven citizens. Like, he wants the suffering to be as severe as it can be, and that is kind of what this whole story, it's upside down, story, no, now it's upside down, Jesus, I can't read, that's what this whole story is, you know. And she a thick story, but very fast to read because they're graphic novels. I know with comics, because I am a girl, I am a woman, I do have X chromosomes, can be super gatekeepy, and a lot of the time people don't really like when women creep into these spaces. Or like, oh, you're not a real fan if you don't do this, if you're not familiar with New 52, if you're not familiar with Golden Age, if you're not, and I am not saying I know everything that happens in the DC universe. For fuck's sake, I don't know everything that happens in this universe. Like, I barely know what happens inside my apartment, you know? And everyone is allowed to like the things that they like without being experts at it. I know that's very hard to understand. It's very hard for me to understand personally because I'm such a perfectionist. And I didn't really want to read these comics. Not because I had something against Nightwing. I love Nightwing. I always loved Nightwing. I always loved Dick Grayson. But because just I like knowing the whole story, because I like knowing how characters got to certain points. I like knowing why they make the choices that they do. And with comics, that's not always possible because there are so many storylines, and you just don't have the capacity to buy all the comics and read all of the comics. Like, there's no time. I'm sorry. I have a job. I have a couple of them actually. And I can only do so much. And so this is what I've read. Okay? And the Wayne Family Adventures, because that was fun and free on Webtoon. Given the climate of the world in general, it can be really easy to get swept up in the nihilism and hopelessness of it all. And something that I really enjoy about Nightwing and Dick Grayson's character is, no matter how difficult things get, no matter how terrible things happen to this man all of the time, like all of the time, terrible things. He has every excuse to be a horrible person. Terrible things happen in the world. He lives in a city that rivals Gotham in terms of crime and corruption. And he chose that city because he wants to help that city. That is his home. His city is his home, and he wants to make home better, okay? Instead of making it worse, even though there are so many reasons why he could make it worse, and it's like understandable, but he doesn't do that because that's not who he is. And the thing about him is that he is not a superpowered person. He's not a metahuman. He is just a guy. Please don't hit him with your car. Okay? He's just a guy. He's just a man. He's a little Romani acrobat whose parents died in front of him, and his whole thing is to make sure that everybody is okay. The man is the eldest daughter. He's an eldest daughter, okay? He doesn't know how to not fix things, to the point where when Blockbuster orders a hit on him, not Nightwing, on Dick Grayson, this man still goes out on stages and news outlets and keeps going because hope is important. To do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? He has human fears, normal human fears. He was afraid of heights as a kid, and now he leaps off of buildings. Okay, that is objectively insane, but he does it because it's he wants to help. And the powerful thing about him is the fact that he wants to help and he does his best. It's not that he can win every battle. It's not He's not super fast. He's not super strong. You know, his conflicts are so human. You know, like he isn't even like he wouldn't have even been a billionaire had it not been for Alfred being like, you know what to do with this money. Like he lives in an apartment with barely any furniture from what I could tell. I don't think he has a headboard. Okay. Um I'm yeah. And then his apartment burned down. Well, actually, it exploded because of the aforementioned hit that Blockbuster put on him. His apartment exploded. I would be so stressed. And like I had to move and this has been very stressful. You know, can't even I can't even. I wouldn't wanna. You know, like I wouldn't wanna. And he still goes out and he still does patrol and he still does his best. And sometimes you need to give yourself that hope. Where hope can be more like self-assurance that you are doing your best and that is all that you can do. And you might not win every battle, but that's okay. You being yourself is winning the war. That's really all this is, you know? And I think that's a universal story, regardless of gender, regardless of whether you're an expert, whether you've read it all, whether you're a collector, you know, like the whole the whole theme is anyone can make a difference even without superpowers. It's the fact that you go out and try that matters. And that's why I wanted to talk about Nightwing. And I hope that you guys branch out to and I hope you guys feel safe enough to branch out into uncharted territory when it comes to reading. Because reading comes in many forms. It can come as audiobooks, it can come as novels, it could come as graphic novels and comics, you know, and all of that is valid and it's all still reading and the important part is not how the words come to you, but the story that they present. And this has a really great story, guys. So, and he's hot. So if you wanna, if you wanna talk Nightwing, just DM me or leave a comment down below and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you know when we post our future videos. And oh, I don't know, like the video so that we can keep going. And yeah, go out there and do your best. And I will see you next month probably. And bye.